Oh, maybe it's Tyson Fury. Maybe we have three options. Derek Chisora and Anthony Joshua. Maybe Joseph Parker.
Usyk silenced Dubois once and for all in the rematch, showing he's a level above. But the real storm is brewing. Usyk hinted that Tyson Fury might be next, setting the stage for a potential trilogy that could decide the true king of heavyweight boxing. Even before stepping into the ring, Usyk confidently predicted he would beat Daniel Dubois, and he delivered on that promise.
You know, this work, everything okay. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, first fight with Daniel Dubois, who win? Oleksandr. Yeah, enough. Blow, dirty and clean. For me, listen, bro, 3 years.
In the days leading up to the rematch, Usyk didn't hold back. He was calm, focused, and made it clear he had no doubts about the outcome. That mindset showed in the ring. Every round was calculated. Every shot had purpose. His confidence wasn't just talk, it was a warning. And now, after backing up his words, all eyes turned to the possible war with Tyson Fury. And even before beating Dubois, Usyk had made one thing clear: Tyson Fury is next. And the idea of Fury being retired didn't change a thing.
You say you have two more. Do you know who you want it to be after Daniel Dubois?
Maybe it's Tyson Fury, maybe it's Anthony Joshua.
Tyson Fury, your friend who you call Greedy Belly.
Yeah.
He says he's retired, then he's not, then he's retired. Now he may be coming back?
Yes, I think it's not retired. Типа завязал retired. Yeah, it's not retired. I think Tyson continue training, continue boxing because it's a great man. Yes, Tyson Fury a lot of speak, blah 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 blah. But it's great man. Wow.
Usyk wasn't just focused on Dubois, he was already planning his path to undisputed glory. His words carried weight, hinting that the real battle lies ahead. The way he spoke about Fury left no room for doubt. He's ready, and he expects Fury to show up. This wasn't just a post-fight call-out, it was a continuation of a mission, and if Fury steps forward, the heavyweight division could be heading toward one of the most explosive trilogies in recent memory. On the other side, Tyson Fury isn't staying quiet either. He took to Instagram to drop a bombshell. April 26, 2023 at Wembley Stadium. A trilogy is incoming. Fury's post wasn't just hype, it felt like a declaration of war. The timing, the venue, the confidence, it all screams that he's gearing up for something massive. This isn't just another fight announcement, it's the spark that could ignite the biggest trilogy in heavyweight history. With both champions locked in and the world watching, everything is pointing to an unforgettable showdown in 2026. And Fury didn't stop there, he made it personal. He clearly stated that he's coming back with one thing on his mind: revenge.
Who would I rather fight right now? Usyk. Because I want the revenge in England. That's all I want. I want a fair shout. And I don't believe I've got a fair shout the last 2 times. So I don't know what I'm going to have to do because I can't leave it go to the decision. I'm going to have to knock it out. But yeah, that's the one I want.
There was no holding back. Fury spoke like a man on a mission. This isn't just about belts anymore. It's about rewriting the ending. His tone, his words, everything pointed to unfinished business. You could sense the tension building. This is no longer just a fight, it's a war for legacy. And with both sides ready, the countdown to the trilogy has truly begun. Even veteran commentator John Rawling couldn't hold back his excitement. He shared his thoughts on the possibility of a Fury versus Usyk trilogy and why Wembley could be the perfect stage.
And there's the possibility of the trilogy fight against Tyson Fury. You know, he's talked about a date in spring next year, Fury, and you could see that being a colossal fight if it happened on, you know, I mean, I was over there in Riyadh, and yeah, it was big, and you see it on pay-per-view television, but it's not the same as going in front of 90,000 people at Wembley. And if they could do that next year, and Fury's not spent, you know, he's still got something to offer quite clearly. He's given a good account of himself in 2 fights against Usyk, and I think at Wembley, I think the crowd's fans would love it. I'd like to see it, and if I wasn't commentating on it, I'd pay to see it.
Yeah.
Rawling painted the kind of picture that gives you goosebumps. 90,000 fans packed into Wembley, the roar, the stakes, the history. He's seen it all. But this fight, this one feels different. The energy, the rivalry, and what's at stake. It's everything boxing fans dream of. And coming from someone who's called the biggest nights in boxing, his words carry serious weight. This isn't just hype. It's the kind of moment that could define a generation. But not everyone's on board with the idea of a trilogy. Promoter Eddie Hearn shared his blunt take on Fury vs. Usyk 3, and it's got people talking.
You know, I don't think Fury won the first 2 fights, but if he wants a third crack, that's up to him. No one really wants to see it, if I'm honest. No one would pick him to win in a third fight. Just let him fight someone, let AJ fight someone or Jake Paul, let AJ fight Tyson Fury, and then let the winner of that fight Oleksandr Usyk.
Hearn didn't sugarcoat anything. He questioned whether fans even want a third fight. His words threw fuel on an already burning debate, hinting at other blockbuster matchups that could shake up the heavyweight scene. Whether it's AJ, Fury, or even wildcard names, Hearn's vision points toward a different path. But love it or hate it, his comments prove one thing: the future of heavyweight boxing is wide open, and anything can happen next. And then came Tyson Fury's response, one that felt like both a salute and a warning. He praised Usyk's win, but made sure to remind everyone who he believes still holds the upper hand.
Massive shout out to Oleksandr Usyk. He did a fantastic performance tonight over Daniel Dubois, a good young game lad who come for a good tear up. So congratulations to both men. But Oleksandr Usyk knows there's only one man who can beat him. I've done it twice before, and the world knows it.
Fury didn't just acknowledge Usyk, he positioned himself as the final boss. It was respectful on the surface, but underneath, you could sense the challenge brewing. The tone said it all. He's not done, not defeated, and definitely not afraid. This wasn't about the past, it was about setting the tone for the next chapter. And if these two meet again, it won't just be a trilogy, it'll be a war to settle everything. And just when things seemed to cool down, Tyson Fury came back with full fire, this time in a raw and emotional message straight from the road.
I've been fucked good and proper without any Vaseline on, and I've took it like a man. And here's me, not fucking around at some boxing match. I'm out on the fucking road running, but I'm running tonight. I come home, I done my job, and I got myself back, and I am the man. I'm the fucking Spartan, and no matter what anyone wants to say, I fucking won them fights. Guaranteed 100%. There's only one man. GK all day, every day.
Fury wasn't in the ring, but he was still fighting for his name, his legacy, and his truth. His words carried a different impact, full of grit and defiance. This wasn't just about boxing, it was about pride, about proving to the world that he's still the man. You could feel the fire in his voice, the need to be heard, to be believed. And with emotions running this high, it's clear, this trilogy is getting personal. Meanwhile, Usyk added his own twist, addressing his age and his purpose with a powerful message that hit deeper than just boxing. He stated, 38 is a young guy, remember? 38 is only the start. This is for the people. It's for our world's people. He wasn't just brushing off questions about age. He was sending a message to Tyson Fury ahead of the trilogy. Usyk made it clear that he's still fresh, still hungry, and still fighting for something far beyond titles. This wasn't just confidence, it was a declaration. As the hype for Part 3 builds, Usyk is showing he's not only ready physically, but mentally unstoppable. The Fury trilogy just got a lot more interesting. Eddie Hearn also shared his breakdown of Usyk's performance, one filled with admiration and a deeper look into the champion's mindset during the fight.
In awe of watching him, to be honest with you. I mean, it's such a great lesson, and I mean, obviously role model to all fighters, but the way that he controls a fight. So comes out for the first round. Dubois looks massive, strong, powerful guy, and the one thing you can't allow Dubois to do is get any confidence. You've got to take his confidence away, you've got to make him think, you've got to make him work, you've got to land a hard jab, you've got to make him question himself. And in that first round, Dubois comes out the aggressor, right? Big, strong, rough and tough, puts Usyk on his back foot. You even see Usyk's face, you know, like he's really concentrating. goes back to his stall. This is my interpretation of the fight. Where I think I'm right.
Hearn's words reflected pure respect for Usyk's ring IQ. He didn't just win the fight physically, he dismantled Dubois mentally. From the very first round, Usyk was calculating, adjusting, and slowly taking control. Hearn pointed out how Usyk made Dubois doubt himself, round by round. It wasn't just a fight, it was a masterclass in how to break down a bigger, stronger opponent. And if he brings that same level of control into the Fury Trilogy, it's going to be a chess match at the highest level. Eddie Hearn continued his breakdown with more insight into how Usyk took full control of the fight. His comments revealed just how quickly the momentum shifted after round 1.
And basically says to himself, I can't afford to let Dubois do that to me because otherwise it's going to be a long night. So I'm going to just take the middle of the ring now. I'm going to start pushing him back. Takes the middle of the ring, and it's like, I was just saying to Nishant there, it's like the movement, it's up, it's down, and it's like, it's so draining. And the one thing it's quite easy to do to Dubois actually is just drain him over time as you take his confidence away from him. And then the second round, he just kind of flipped things round straight away. We started out before the bell in the third round, so I didn't see it, but obviously I saw the stoppage, and they say from the third round he just battered him basically, and like,
Usyk's ring IQ came alive. He made the decision to stop backing up and started owning the center. Hearn highlighted how Usyk's footwork and pressure slowly drained Dubois both mentally and physically. It wasn't brute strength, it was brilliance in motion. Once Usyk flipped the script, there was no looking back. If he brings that same sharpness to the Trilogy with Fury, it's going to be a psychological war as much as a physical one. Eddie Hearn wrapped up his thoughts with a bold declaration, placing Usyk at the very top of the boxing world. His praise made one thing clear: we're witnessing greatness.
Dubois is a serious fighter. Like, I don't think he's skill-wise up there with Usyk, but to do that and just stop him and batter him, like, just phenomenal. Like, he is. There is absolutely no question in my mind who is the pound-for-pound number one in the sport. Oleksandr Usyk has beaten Dubois twice, AJ twice, Tyson Fury twice. He's unbelievable.
Hearn didn't hold back in calling Usyk the pound-for-pound king. It wasn't just about beating big names. It was the way he dismantled them. From AJ to Dubois to Fury, Usyk's resume is unmatched. Hearn's tone showed pure respect for the skill, discipline, and dominance Usyk brings to the ring. With that kind of track record, the upcoming trilogy with Fury isn't just another fight. It's a battle for legacy that could seal Usyk's place in history forever. Former world champion Duke McKenzie also shared his take, and it came with a surprising shift in perspective. His words showed just how much Usyk's performance changed minds.
I think unlike most people in saying as much, when you look at Oleksandr Usyk and you see what he does and the relative ease in which he does it, that's what makes this guy a real maverick for me. He really is. I've even changed my mind a little bit about him now in saying that he's not an all-time great. I think what we're actually witnessing, or what we actually witnessed last night, was real greatness. He made that fight look absolutely effortless.
McKenzie spoke with admiration, pointing out how effortlessly Usyk handled the fight. What stood out wasn't just the win, it was how easy Usyk made it look against a dangerous opponent. It was the kind of display that forces even seasoned pros to reconsider where a fighter stands in history. McKenzie, once unsure, now sees Usyk as something more than elite. With this level of dominance, Usyk's place among the all-time greats might already be sealed, and the Fury Trilogy could be the final stamp. Duke McKenzie went deeper into Usyk's mindset before the fight, describing a version of the champion that felt more dangerous than ever. His words gave a glimpse into the fire Usyk carried into the ring.
When I saw a clip of Oleksandr Usyk shadowboxing before this fight, he looked like he was actually going to war. He looked like he only had one thing on his mind. And, the same thing could be said of Dubois. What Dubois' mindset was going into this fight, destroy and destruct, that's what Usyk had in the back of his mind. He wasn't looking to go the distance in that fight last night. I can't honestly say I've seen him come out as aggressive as he did. And bearing in mind, when he clipped Dubois with the first shot, he was on the back foot. He clipped him. Usyk was on the back foot.
Mackenzie noticed something different. Usyk wasn't just prepared, he was locked in with a warrior's focus. From the way he shadowboxed to how he opened the fight, it was clear. This was personal. Usyk came in aggressive, sharp, and with destruction on his mind. It wasn't about points or playing safe, it was about making a statement. That kind of intensity could be a warning for Fury, because if Usyk enters the trilogy with the same fire, the outcome might be even more brutal. Duke Mackenzie didn't hold back in his technical assessment of the fight, especially when it came to Dubois' approach and what separated him from Usyk on the night.
I'm not saying Dubois was shell-shocked by the event. I'm not saying that Dubois froze by the event, but Dubois looked to me so tentative. He was coming forward, but there was no head movement. I don't know what's going on in Daniel Dubois' camp, because you can't fight any southpaw, never mind one as good as Oleksandr Usyk, without a bit of head work, a bit of head movement. Dubois doesn't slip shots. You never see him slipping anything. And it is a criticism, because I'm sure he can add to his game. All right, maybe he'll go away and he'll learn from this. But I think what we witnessed last night really was a great fight. We're looking at a great fighter. We're looking at an all-time great.
Mackenzie highlighted a key flaw. Dubois came forward but lacked the defensive sharpness needed against a fighter like Usyk. The absence of head movement, the predictability, it all played into Usyk's hands. While he didn't completely write off Dubois, Mackenzie made it clear that Usyk exposed those gaps with ease. The contrast in skill and fight IQ was undeniable, and with performances like that, Usyk isn't just winning, he's making the case as one of the sport's all-time greats, heading into the trilogy with Fury as the man to beat. British heavyweight David Adelai also weighed in, touching on the constant doubts Usyk faces, and how he continues to shut them down every time.
I think Usyk keeps proving himself. He gets doubted a lot, and I think he's proven himself so many times that it's kind of crazy that people doubt him, but you got to give credit to Daniel for getting in there. He tried a thing, and more credit to Usyk for pulling it off time and time again.
Adelai praised both fighters, but made it clear that Usyk deserves more respect than he gets. Despite everything he's achieved, some still question him. Yet again, Usyk rose to the occasion and handled business like a true champion. Adelai's tone reflected admiration for Usyk's consistency and composure under pressure. With each victory, the doubters get quieter, and as the Fury trilogy looms, it's becoming harder and harder to bet against him. Boxing journalist Tris Dixon also offered his ringside insight, pointing out how Usyk gradually broke down Dubois, not just physically, but mentally.
I think Dubois made a relatively good start in the first round. Certainly the first minute, he started to find a bit of a home for the right hand, and Usyk just sort of started to just figure him out almost second by second, to the point where it just became, you know, the scales just started to tilt increasingly in his favor as the fight wore on. And I think, you know, around the second and third round, he started catching Dubois with some counters, which I think might have given Dubois some PTSD from what happened in Poland a couple of years ago. And I think, you know, soon Dubois' ambition was punctured and his self-belief was punctured.
Dixon noticed the early moments when Dubois showed promise, landing a few right hands, but Usyk adapted quickly, almost like he was downloading data in real time. Each round shifted the momentum further in his favor. The precision of Usyk's counters didn't just hurt Dubois, they shook his confidence. Dixon's take revealed how Usyk doesn't overpower opponents with brute force. He dismantles them piece by piece, and if that same strategy unfolds in the Fury trilogy, it could be a long, punishing night for the Gypsy King. Tris Dixon continued with an even deeper reflection, focusing on how Usyk defied expectations at 38 and turned the narrative upside down.
By Usyk's sharp counters, and I think, you know, people might have been hoping that Usyk would show signs of regression in terms of Dubois' team, and the fact that 2 years had gone and he was now 38 and he'd had a couple of hard fights with Fury, and Dubois was riding the crest of a wave, having beaten Jarrell Miller, Hrgovic and Joshua. But if anything, and I spoke to Usyk about this week, I said to him, you know, everyone's saying Dubois improved. He's like, I've not been standing still. And Usyk was the one who looked improved, which is staggering. And yeah, it was one of those. He was mesmerizing. I was disappointed with Dubois, who, I think when it was clear that Usyk had a measure of him, Dubois had pledged that he was going to bring chaos, and he did not bring chaos. He became more flat-footed, more one-dimensional, and more one-paced as the fight wore on. But
there was a belief that Usyk might be slowing down, that age and past wars would catch up, but Dixon highlighted how Usyk shattered that idea completely. While Dubois came in with hype and momentum, it was Usyk who looked sharper, faster, and more evolved. The way he shut down Dubois' promise of chaos was clinical. Instead of fading, Usyk rose, proving that even with years behind him, he's still growing. And with that level of discipline, the Fury Trilogy could become his ultimate masterpiece. Adam Smith added his voice to the conversation, offering a ringside perspective that highlighted just how locked in Usyk was from the very first bell.
But he's just exceptional. So good in rematches. I thought he was slightly, not rattled by Daniel Dubois, but I think he wanted to make a statement tonight.
He predicted a knockout. He never predicts a knockout.
Yeah, he did. And you don't push the horses. I think that he wanted to light up Wembley tonight. I think he came out with a steely intent. He did what he did against AJ in the first fight at Spurs. He took away Dubois' jab straight away. And I think Daniel's only chance really was to double and treble the jab and get real input into the fight, and it just didn't happen. And the first couple of rounds were really difficult for Dubois. I thought he was shaken at the end of the second. I thought he did better to come back in the third. I think he tried his hardest. It was just a case of levels. I thought Usyk was superb tonight. I thought his feet were fantastic. I thought his jab was like a wand, and he was aggressive.
Smith noted something rare. Usyk predicted a knockout, something he almost never does. That alone showed how serious he was about making a statement. From shutting down Dubois' jab to dominating the ring with footwork and aggression, Usyk looked like a man on a mission. Smith pointed out that Dubois tried, but it was simply a matter of levels. And if this version of Usyk shows up for the Fury Trilogy, we could be witnessing another masterclass on the biggest stage yet. Adam Smith closed out his thoughts with a powerful tribute to Usyk, one that captured the emotion and magnitude of what took place at Wembley.
But I thought it was a breathtaking performance from Oleksandr Usyk, and I think that the thousands that were here tonight at Wembley and the millions that watched it on DAZN around the world, can just think what a pleasure. And it's something that you tell your grandkids. You were there when there was greatness, and he is great. And he's great inside the ring, outside the ring. He's a fantastic human being, and he's an amazing boxer.
Smith described Usyk's performance as something unforgettable, a night that fans around the world will remember for years. It wasn't just about boxing skill, it was about presence, greatness, and legacy. He praised not only what Usyk did inside the ropes, but who he is outside them. The atmosphere, the respect, the admiration, it all felt historic. And with the Fury Trilogy on the horizon, this moment may just be chapter 2 of an epic that fans will tell stories about for generations. Agit Kabayel also shared his honest reaction after the fight, starting with support for Dubois, but ending in full respect for Usyk's dominance.
Coming in, I said, look, Dubois going to win. We're all here to support our own, to support someone that we know. So, I thought he was going to win. But after the first few rounds, Usyk, you have to take your hats off to him. He shows constantly why he's the undisputed. Everyone he's beaten twice, most of them. Do you know what I mean? So it would have taken something special to beat him, and Dubois fell short tonight. No shame in it at all.
Kabayel admitted he came in backing Dubois, like many others, but as the rounds unfolded, he saw exactly why Usyk remains the undisputed champ. The way Usyk systematically controls and beats top fighters, often more than once, left no doubt in Kabayel's mind. He acknowledged that it would have taken something truly extraordinary to stop Usyk. And with yet another name added to his list, Usyk marches toward the trilogy, with Fury looking more untouchable than ever. Meanwhile, Usyk also took a moment to speak on the criticism aimed at Dubois, showing nothing but respect for his opponent despite the outcome.
Daniel now 27 years. Yeah, the young guy. If Daniel continue training, I think Daniel can take belt again.
Rather than tear Dubois down, Usyk chose to lift him up. He reminded everyone that Dubois is still young and has a future ahead of him if he keeps pushing. Coming from a champion like Usyk, that kind of praise speaks volumes. It showed Usyk's class not just as a fighter, but as a sportsman, and with the spotlight shifting to Fury, it's clear. Usyk leaves the ring with both victory and dignity, building even more anticipation for the final chapter of his heavyweight saga. Usyk once again reminded the world why he's one of the greatest to ever step into a boxing ring. From his calm dominance to his sharp counters, and even his words after the fight, everything about his performance screamed legacy. With a trilogy against Tyson Fury now looming, the excitement is off the charts. This isn't just boxing, it's history in the making. What do you think? Who were you backing going into the fight? Usyk or Dubois? Did your fighter win? What was your favorite moment of the night? Are you excited for the Fury vs. Usyk trilogy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more videos like this.